joining exhibit number 1. So now I'll start with a very simple experiment. As you can see, this is a pencil and I have attached 2 ring magnets to it. And as you can see on the piece of cardboard, there are another 4 ring magnets. Now I have placed them in a very specific manner. So the first 2 ring magnets, they are supposed to attract the ring magnet which I'm pointing to. But the ring magnets on the rear end, they are supposed to repel the ring magnet I'm pointing at. So now let's see what happens if I just let it stay there in midair. As you can see, without any support, the pencil is just floating in midair. In other words, it's suspended. So now we know that anything which goes up, it has to come down, just like this piece of apple. It went up, it came down. But why isn't this pencil just staying in midair and not coming down? Well, the simplest answer is magnetic levitation. Due to the magnetic forces, it is counteracting the forces of gravity. So now let me explain you what is magnetic levitation. So magnetic levitation or maglev technology is magnetic suspension, which is a method by which an object is suspended with no support other than magnetic fields. So as you saw in my experiment, the magnetic forces, it just helped the pencil stay afloat in midair. So magnetic force is used to counteract the effects of the gravitational acceleration and any other accelerations. So now there are types of magnetic levitations. So there are a lot of types, but the 2 primary types of maglev technology are electromagnetic suspension and electrodynamic suspension. So my experiment, I just used not the most strongest magnets, they are just plain ring magnets. But to lift heavy objects, you're going to need special magnets. They are called superconducting magnets or electromagnets. So now you must be thinking, why am I talking about magnetic levitation? That is because magnetic levitation, it can solve a lot of problems we face in transportation. For example, we know all the vehicles right now are run by ICE, which is internal combustion engines. They have a lot of problems. Like the current generation vehicles, they run on oil and gasoline, which harm the environment and cause the exhaustion of fossil fuels. Due to the friction, the amount of energy lost is huge and it reduces the speed as well. There is no control over the traffic congestion, thus creating havoc. As there is no control over the car speed and the distance, the risk of accidents is increased. And when brakes are applied to a car or the horn is used, we hear a lot of sound. That is basically noise pollution. And now I'm going to explain how magnetic levitation solves all these problems. So why maglev cars? So as we know, magnetic levitation, it cancels out friction. There is no friction involved. So that increases speed and decreases the travel time. So let's suppose you're going from Muscat to Dubai. You will be going on a normal car. It will take more time as there is friction and the tires are touching the road. But if you're going on a maglev car, it will take thrice the less amount of a normal car. It also can reduce pollution as there is no need for oil and gasoline, and thus fossil fuels won't get exhausted and they'll stay there for all eternity. And as we know, we see a lot of road traffic congestion. There are a lot of problems in that. But as in maglev cars, they are all controlled, predefined, there won't be any traffic congestion. So this is how maglev cars can solve the problems which are faced by ICE vehicles. But maglev cars or magnetic levitation, they won't just help us in the present, they can also open new doors in the future. So let me show you this model which I made. As you can see, this is a maglev train. Maglev trains are very efficient. There are some right now in this world which are already running and they are very efficient. They are much more efficient than normal trains which are run on pure fuel or coal. This is another invention they can make. And now let's check at magnetic levitation roads. They are also really efficient. They are all related to the transportation system. And as we know, when a spacecraft it's going into space, it has a lot of friction and it damages the spacecraft. But with space launch system, with magnetic levitation, it reduces the friction, which helps in going into space faster or the destination. It helps in going faster and it also reduces the fatality rate. And now let's see at a magnetic wind turbine system. So as we know, magnetic levitation, it cancels out all friction. So basically, energy loss will be reduced. When wind turbines are running with magnetic levitation, there is no friction. So energy loss will be very less, and it is also very efficient. So this is how magnetic levitation can shape the future. It can open new doors, create more ideas. This is how magnetic levitation is so useful. And with this just one simple concept, you can create the future. Thank you.
Abir Hospital, healthcare you can trust. Now we know man. 20 years of care and concern. Multi-specialty hospital with surgical excellence. Round-the-clock emergency